Well, it was one of them days where a lot of stuff comes in all at once. This actually came UPS, and it is a water pump for that Belarus tractor. But I actually had a hard time believing it was a water pump when I picked up the box, because I have never known a water pump to be that heavy. But them Russians do not spare on the cast. Now look at that, how thick that sidewall is. Just an outrageously heavy pump. I figured mine is getting, the bearings are wore out. And I could have rebuilt it. You know, there's a kit for them, but I figured, okay, I'll put the new one on, then rebuild the old one so I have a spare around. But even then, you look at the size of that bearing that they've got in there. You know, they're built unbelievably heavy. Weighs 4 times what you'd expect a water pump to weigh. Well, some of this other stuff I might as well go through because it's going to come up later. Somebody asked me the one day if it was in a message, if I had, let's unbox all that, well, if I had tried cast in that Swiss, and I haven't yet. You know, it's something I thought about doing, so I got the stuff to do it. You know, this is the 309 sizer, which, you know, they're always a good deal, and that particular size could be handy for a lot of stuff. So this must be a couple molds. Yeah, these are both 309. One of them is 150 grain flat nose, and this one is 180 grain round nose, which is what I'll be trying in that. Flat nose is really more on the order of a 30-30. You know, and I'm not that wild to try in a 30-30, though I might. But both of these molds, good to have. You know, I don't actually have a lot of rifles that shoot a 308 size bullet. But, you know, it'll happen. But I'll probably, you know, I don't know that this 30-30 with the micro groove rifling, I don't know that I'll maybe make some up and try it, but I don't expect to have good results with it. But, you know, odds are I'll end up with something in the way of a 30-30 that isn't micro groove sometime. Also, I've got another, this is a 6.5 Swede lead loader. I also got a 30-30 one, just because I like to have them. This is another sort of an experiment, and we'll see how this works out. Well, okay. These are gas jacks, and I was hoping they would have a better way of fastening. You know, I normally use the Hornady ones, and you know how, you know, the theory on the Hornady ones, like the base of the bullet where the gas jack goes, is really kind of like that. Now these Hornady ones, in theory, the gas jack kind of cup shaped, and these edges are supposed to be turned in. And so when it goes on there and it crimps, it locks on. That's simply a theory. I have never seen one yet that has any kind of a lip on the inside of that. They're just flat. So if you have to take one apart, they pull off. So I thought these, it says Gator, you know, grips like a gator. Nah, same shit. Looks exactly the same. I don't see any indication that these are going to grip any better than the Hornady ones do. It's not really a factor, except for when you actually try to take a cartridge apart. If you decide, oh, I don't like this load, and you try to take it apart, yeah, see, there's no lip there at all. No different from the Hornady ones. You know, I was hoping they'd have like little alligator teeth, but we'll try them. But it only comes into play if you decide you aren't going to shoot the cartridge and you want to take it apart and change like the powder or something. The gas check will always pull off when you try to get them out, when you try to pull a bullet, which gets stuck in the neck and is a real nuisance. And I have noticed if I'm shooting gas check bullets into that particle or that fiberboard backstop or that OSB that I nail the targets on, the OSB will always strip the gas check off. I always find them laying on the ground. They seldom will stay on the bullet all the way into the ground, you know, into the back of the backstop. So I was hoping for a little bit of grip, like a gator. But I don't see the advantage to these. You know, if the Hornady ones actually had that design, like their theory is, that might do something. But they really aren't. They're shaped just cup-shaped. They don't really grip. You know, they go on, but they're not going to stay on.